Cuando amanece, cuánto me gustas. Juegas tu mar, tu cielo, me gusta. Tu sonrisa al verme, cuando me abrazan tus olas y despiertan tus aromas. Me gusta. Tus paseos, me gusta. Descubrirte, me gusta. Tu secreto, todo en ti me gusta. Santo Domingo me gusta. Desafiarte. Tus campos y tus olas, y en un cielo inmenso la luna. El Puerto Plata me gusta. Me gusta. Me gusta. Puerto Plata me gusta. Me gusta. Me gusta. Me gusta. Puerto Plata me gusta.
Marhaba, and welcome to another episode of Culture Capsule. This is Samar Karam greeting you from the capital of the UAE, Abu Dhabi. It is my true honor to have today with me a very special distinguished guest, His Excellency Renso Herrera Franco, the Ambassador of the Dominican Republic to the United Arab Emirates, a guest with a very high experience across multiple regions from Latin America, the Caribbean, Europe, Africa, North Africa, and the Middle East. Throughout his career, he has contributed to major international initiatives and partnerships, supporting economic cooperation and strengthening relations between nations. Across his postings, he has remained focused on a single essential mission: building genuine bridges among people, cultures, and opportunities. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency, Ambassador Renso Herrera Franco. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you very much, Samar, to give me the opportunity to speak with your audience in the UAE. It's a privilege for an ambassador of the Dominican Republic to have this door for us to communicate with your people. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. If I may look back after 3 decades of your dedication and service, what inspired you to choose the path of diplomacy?
I think you said at the beginning, I think diplomacy is building bridges, creating bridges. And I think this is the most important thing that we have done from the beginning. And for me, it always being from the Dominican Republic, we are a mixed cultural and racial society. And then for me, being able to have people connecting, and this is our job, connecting the Dominican Republic with other people around the world and cooperating together. And the bridges for me define diplomacy.
Exactly. So when you go on a new assignment, what is your focus regarding building trust with any nation, new nation that you're working with?
I think number one is respect. I think the first thing that you can do is respect other people's culture. And then you get prepared for that. Me and my family, we go there, we try to learn the history, the culture. And at the end of the day, realize that even if we are for different parts of the world, humanity is common ground. And then it's so easy to communicate with the people when you go to the heart and the culture. And you find a lot of similarity, especially coming from countries like the Dominican Republic, a mix from Europe, people coming from Africa, from Arabic. And then this is it. This is the name of the game.
So if I may ask you, how much, if we are to weight it how much would be strategy in communicating with Emirati, and how much would you put on the side of the scale regarding human building human relationship and knowing the people more? When you came to your new post in the UAE, an Arab country, one of the countries of the GCC, and normally, in any line of business, people like to have a study strategy. So, when you come to our country, what was the level of strategy and what was the level of building up relationship and knowing humans and knowing the Emiratis?
I think it's human. I think the first thing, diplomat are we are first who we are, and then we apply who we are to what we do. And I think this is the human connection make all the difference. And as I said at the beginning, even if we are coming from far away country, it look like a different culture. At the end of the day, when you go to the main feature of the society, we are very similar. And then I think we start from there, getting connection. And I always believe, like in everything, admiration for the other is part. If you want, I think even for friendship, even for my wife, I think you have to admire the other people. And then I came here with admiration for a history, but also something that's fundamental for me is how this country was able to transform from a society who was in 1958 in Abu Dhabi, for instance, more than 80% of the population was illiterate. And then can you see that that happened in 58, and today we are the most advanced country in the world. And then for me, from the beginning, having focused on that, how can we learn from UAE in this process of transformation? And we have a plan in the Dominican for that. We call Meta 2036, Goal 2036. And we're going to try to follow this. And for me, this is my number one priority, because the rest of the thing, the commerce, development, investment is coming because we are attractive as a nation. We have a lot of things to give. But I think fundamentally is this path that we have gone through, that the developed country goes from very close to very low to high. And this is something that my admiration for Emirati people, the capacity to reinvent themselves and to always be looking at the future is the number one priority. And I think this is the lesson I received since I arrived. Even the road, I always believe, and I tell the people in the Dominican Republic, in a country that you drive in the city at 80 kilometers per hour, that country was, when they think about this country from the very beginning, they made the road for 40 years ahead and 50 years ahead. And this is, I think, one of the things I would like my country to learn from the way.
Actually, Your Excellency, I would like to thank you for bringing this up, because according to my latest knowledge, the Dominican Republic is the fastest growing economical country in Latin America and the Caribbean. And I was really impressed when I got my hands on this information. I'm so sorry, excuse my ignorance, because I didn't know that. And then I just decided to dig deeper to understand more about the 2036 vision. So can you please walk us through this fast transformation that happened to the Dominican Republic and how this can help in further collaboration between the UAE and the Dominican Republic, especially on the culture level?
Yes, I think it's even because this growth we have been growing for more than 5% for the last 50 years, and then we are the leading country in growing so fast in the region. But at the same time, we are also in a process of develop this process of plan. I mean, we want to transform the economy in the next 10 years to double the GDP. Yeah. And we have a plan for that. This is the good thing about this. And then we have been working on this very closely with the Prime Minister Office of UAE. They have a program they call JEP, Government Experience Exchange Program. And then because I was so impressed, I was talking with my Dominican counterpart in the presidency, and told them, I mean, this is an opportunity because we have this program that we are planning for 10 years ahead. But people have not seen this happen. It's like a dream.
Mhm.
And I say, come to me, you see how this thing about the baby, and then you're going to start to believe, and you believe you can do. I was able in the last 3 months to bring 15 deputy minister and director general who meet with the counterpart here in UAE. They saw the program, the method, because I think the Dominican Republic is a rich country. We have one of the largest gold mines in the world.
Mhm.
We have now rare earth mineral, one of the best in the big quantity. We have tourism, we have agriculture, but we need method. And then the methodic way that we're doing things, this is what we need. And then now these people came, they saw, and now the next step is sit down and put in practice with the hand for the UAE to develop this program, transform the Dominican Republic in what we want to be, a developed country in the next year. And I think that's why it's so important for the people who are looking that want to invest. This is the moment to get in, because you're going to get in the process of a country to transcend, like they did here with a plan that is a proven plan because it follows the process that you follow as a way.
Yeah. And also another important thing is the government experience exchange program. I've seen also a very high, intense dialogue in the world of AI with very high distinguished organizations led by His Highness Sheikh Sheikh Hamdan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and how this can help in developing more the world of diplomacy, or in another way, can AI help in the world of diplomacy? For example, I'd like to share with Your Excellency, in one of my episodes, I've hosted one of the gurus of in the world of negotiation, and he have mentioned that now AI is considered to be a very important aspect in the world of negotiation. And now with this GEEP program, part of it also is negotiating AI in collaboration with the Dominican Republic. So will that benefit the two governments, UAE and the Dominican Republic?
Yes, we are collaborating really in digitalization because we want
Yes.
to also put in practice some of the things that you are doing here with camera and all the passport, and we are working on that. I need to improve that. But AI for me is so fundamental now in our society, and then it's an instrument. It's a tool that we should be using as a diplomat. I mean, the capacity that have AI to give you information, to guide you, but you need to be the one applying this. It's not the other way around. I mean, but you have to use AI.
Yeah.
A good diplomat need to have this in her hand because this is the new life. A diplomat that is not using AI, I think, need to get in because this is what this is a society need and a thing that can improve what you do. But you are not going to use diplomacy. It's an instrument that's going to support you to do better and more.
Uh-huh.
But you have to be the diplomat. You have to be the one making the connection. You have to be one connecting the people, looking at strategy, and AI will multiply what you do. I think it's fundamental. Diplomacy and AI have to be go hand in hand.
But it will not overtake the human factor, correct?
No, I mean that's why I think it's human is even there is good. It's better to have a communication with somebody that you are not sitting down. But it's always good to have sit down, have a cigar. I mean, we are the number one exporter of cigar in the world, fine cigar. I mean,
Yes.
what best to sit down with a friend or with a colleague or with a businessman or with a politician, and then this is not going to substitute. I mean, this is fundamental. But the background to get to the sitting down is what you need AI to help you, but connection The people have to believe you because they see you. Like when I met you, I mean, the connection between us make the confidence that we can go and continue working together. And this is no substitute. There is no way that can be substituted. This no anyway.
Yeah. As a diplomat working now in the UAE, what surprised you most in our culture? What was a kind of a surprise?
I think maybe the candor as a sign, a serious sign, but the more I know Emiratis and closer I get to them, and when they invite me home, because now I get invited to home and participate in the festivity and dinner, I think we are so similar. I mean, we are in the main values is the same. I mean, friendship, collaboration with other, taking care of our family, all the people in the family. Those things are very, very similar. And probably I don't know because I come from Latin America. And in Latin America, for instance, in the Dominican Republic, we have people coming from the Ottoman Empire. From Lebanon, Syria, other countries from the region. And this is for more than 100 years. And these people are part of society. Our president, Luis Abinader, is from Lebanese origin. But not only him. You go to the government, you have 5 or more people who are, you see the name, the last name is from this part of the world. But not only that, university, business people, educator, doctor, everywhere. And then our culture, even the thing we eat in the Dominican, we have kipe. Kipe, we call kipe. People who doesn't know where it's coming from believe this Dominican. I've always been having the food from this part of the region that we believe are ours. I mean, probably for that, it's easier for me because this is part of our culture. The Arabic culture is part of us. That's fundamental.
Okay, since we're talking similar, I had a friend of mine. What is the magic about Punta Cana? That magical place. What is this place? Because she moved to the Dominican Republic. That friend of mine, she sent me a picture, and I said, "Are you in a resort? I mean, what is this beautiful place?" She said, "No, that's my house. I live now in Punta Cana, and that is the compound that I'm living in, and this is the community pool, and this is the view." And it was the view of the ocean. So for Emiratis and expats living in the UAE who have never been to the Dominican Republic before, what makes the Dominican Republic a good destination to travel to on holidays and also to move to forever and make it your forever home?
Yes, we have 12 million people. We have 12 million people as a population. We have 12 million people coming to Dominica every year. And I think Punta Cana, other places, but Punta Cana have the most important airport in the country. That means not in the capital. The most important airport in the country is Punta Cana. It's the biggest private airport in the world. And this is the Dominican Republic for security, climate that is summer almost all the time. I mean, the temperature is almost very similar all around. The beauty, mountain, we have the highest mountain in the Caribbean. And then you go from 26, 28 degrees to go to 0 degrees if you go to the mountain. And then it's a very small space. You have everything you can dream. And the quality of the people. The Dominican, the music, if you see merengue, bachata, it's fantastic. I mean, it's recognized by UNESCO as a given for the humanity. And then everything you get in the Dominican, you can have very good education, you can have very high level university. If you want to move to the family hospital, the best quality that you can get, security again, cultural, because we have the Dominican Republic of Santo Domingo, la ciudad colonial, is the oldest city in the Americas. The first university, everything is started in the Dominican. And that's why also we have a logistic importance. Because if you make a cross in the Americas, in the middle of that cross is the Dominican Republic. And that's why we have an investment for almost $2 billion from DP World in the Dominican. And we are the most important port in the region, we compare with Paris. And this is connection is because we have been there. This is the important of the Dominican Republic. That's why we grow. That's why we are so important for UAE, because we are this link that can connect you from North, South, Central America and to Europe. And then we have at the same time, we have agreement, free trade agreement that facilitate business and connection. And we have the connectivity, the best connectivity you can have in the Americas is in the Dominican Republic. South, North, Europe, everywhere you can go is the airport in the Dominican Republic.
And it's also very tourist friendly. I mean, lots of people come back with very good experience, and they share that it's a very chill country. You know, time is relaxed and you don't have to rush through things. You take things, what they call it, poco a poco, take it easy, and they have an amazing time. So my question is, if a tourist from the UAE going to the Dominican Republic, what would be your first suggestion to go to where they can experience a real local life of the Dominicans? What would you say? Go first to?
Well, I am from the north.
Okay.
Puerto Plata, Samaná, these are beaches and town in the north. They are very beautiful because this part of the island is very mountainous. And then you can be in the beach, and you can see the beautiful mountain. If you go to Punta Cana, it's flat, they don't have mountain. Everywhere, I mean, the good thing is it's a small country, 38,000 square kilometers. I think my recommendation is go to Punta Cana. It's easier way to go. Spend a couple of days in Punta Cana and then try to go from Punta Cana to the north. And then you're going to see a totally different environment, a totally different, even the way people speak. Sometimes even the food is different. And then I think that this is the view of the Dominican. It's not only that we have our merengue, our culture, beaches. It's the way you're going to feel at home. You're going to give, people going to give, even if they don't have nothing, they share everything they have with you, and then you get really in love with the people. I think the best thing we have is for people, and I don't know if you know, but we are the most mulatto country in the world. 80% of the Dominican are mulatto. I mean, that's go from almost white to almost black. You have people different color of face, and at the same time, culturally, even the people who are white or black, they are mulatto in the head, and that's why for us it's easy to communicate and exchange with other cultures, because we ourselves is a mix, and that makes you always part of some other culture at the same time between you, and then I think this is the beauty of the Dominican Republic.
Exactly. That's why between UAE and the Dominican Republics, we have a lot in common. Also here, 10% of the population are Emiratis, and the rest are from people all over the world. And we welcome them to the country, and we enjoy to see how they thrive and grow and make friendships and start businesses. So I see a lot of similarities between the two nations. So, sir, if I may ask you about leadership during the time of uncertainty, what is the definition of strong leadership overseas here in the UAE during any time?
I think leadership is about team. I mean, I think you cannot do things alone. It's teamwork, and do what you say you will do. I think that's it's very simple. It's difficult to apply, but this is the name of the game. I mean, I think you cannot. There is something that said in Africa: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to get far, go in company. And I think this is leadership. I mean, I can have all the power in the world, but the only way we can go ahead is together. And I think this is where it is. I mean, you were started from something that, I mean, almost zero. I mean, and then you were able to develop with yourself And then when you look for other, you include the other people, and those people have been here for 2 years. Those people who are not Emirati, they are really part of the society. They are not included. And then I think this is it. Leadership is getting together, having your vision very clear. And I think the founder of this concept, this is a man that I admire so much, because he set up a way to go. He said, we have to get education. We have to do this together. And if you need advice and you need support for them, you get the support. At the same time, you get prepared for do it by yourself. And this is how I was talking about UAE, talking about this vision. You have a vision for 2031. You have a vision 2041. You have a vision 2071. And I tell the people in the Dominican, you have a vision 2117. And that vision for the people who are being seeing for the Dominican Republic is to be the first country in Earth to have a colony with people in Mars. There is a dream, but at the same time you're creating this dream. I think that the former people you interview talking about creating agriculture in hard environment. This is what it is. I mean, if you want to create life, you have to create a way how to produce in the environment as hard as you have in UAE. And that's why anything that the UAE do is especially that. It's looking at the future, but at the same time, the future is connected with the present. And this is amazing. I have the admiration I have for this country. You cannot imagine, because I really believe that you should be selling this. I was talking to somebody in the community of givers. I say people who want to give money or support. I think the one thing that you do is this method of developing UAE and go to a small city to start. Apply this method for people to see how can you develop using only this method. It's something that you can apply in different places of the world. But this is gold. And I mean, for me, if we can use this framework, this is what I'm trying to do with the exchange program. Use this framework, use the Dominican Republic, be able to transform and show that you are able to do it, because you need a plan. Long term is fundamental, and this is the name of the game. You always have a plan, and anything you always preparing for the future. You have a minister of future here. I mean, this is really incredible.
Thank you, sir. Sir, for our Emirati audience who are watching us and listening to us now and trying to pursue a career in diplomacy, what would be the advice that Your Excellency would give them for their future?
Thank you for the question. I was invited to the Archives Academy of UAE, and I spoke with the kid over there. And I think the first thing you have to be clear is that you have to your heart, this capacity to be open to others. I mean, you have to have the capacity, and don't change, don't be the diplomat. I mean, the ambassador, you don't make me ambassador.
Yeah.
I think you have to be yourself. And then this is the way, if you are real, the other people who are going to be communicating with you, they understand that you are real. And then the commitment is strong. This is what I found here. I mean, every time I go to see a minister or anybody here, they open to help us in the way they can. It's the generosity of this country is amazing. You get what you are there. You want to keep it, and then Emirati have this position that everybody have a good image of Emirate, and they can also receive and help. But I think being a diplomat from UAE has to be very beautiful. I mean, you're going to go out, you're going to learn other language, other culture, but you have a country that can help. And not help only, because help is not only money, and people believe money doesn't have a value sometimes. Value is transformation. I mean, teach me how to transform. And then if you live in here, you don't realize, sometimes when you live in story, you don't realize how amazing you are. But the thing is, immediately go to the Dominican, and he can show the Dominican by himself, said, I mean, this is my God, because this is another thing is sitting here. I mean, the people who can afford the country are alive. They are probably my age. And then you can say to them, I mean, my grandfather was creating this program, and then we transformed this in a way. And then this is incredible. You see photo here for 1970 or 1980, and then you see how this was transformed. It was yesterday. And these people are here. That's why for me, I said, other people in Europe and other places, you have 300 years development. But UAE transformed from 0 to 100 in a very short period of time.
It's a very young country, correct? It's a very young country. Yeah, that's right. Sir, that was your perspective about the methodology of how young professionals pursue careers in diplomacy. My question now is beyond titles, protocols, etiquette, rules. What is simply that you love about diplomacy?
The first thing I think in diplomacy is people believe protocol, but I think is education. I think if you get a good education at home, you can be a good diplomat. And the most important thing is that you need is to have this capacity to connect with others, and this is the only way you get things done. Got what you want, but the important thing for a diplomat, I think the most important advice is to have create, like in everything in life. I mean, you have to believe you, and when you believe what you get what you want. That is good for everybody. I think this is the converse. People get together, the good people also get things done. You're going to see in the way you do, you're going to start seeing how things is going to get together. Converse is the name of the game.
That's correct. Yes, communication and connection is very important for diplomacy. Otherwise, it is the equation will be missing something very important, very vital, and the relationship will, get flat. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now, sir, I'd like you, please, to present a cultural question for our next guest on Culture Capsule. I don't know who is that guest, by the way, and neither you. The only one who knows that guest is our production team. And this question is going to be asked to the guest at the end of the show. So, sir, please share with us what would you like to ask our next guest about culture? Any culture, your culture, our culture, any culture in the world. What would be your question?
Yeah, how can anybody who's coming after me, how can contribute to the understanding? How can he or she portray the way that we as a human being in this moment that we are living today? What is going to be the formula for him to help us as a community to get closer together? How culture can play a role in getting all together?
Yeah. That's a very deep question. Your Excellency, time fly with you. It was very special, very interesting. I learned a lot. So thank you very much for your valuable time. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Your Excellency, very much.
For me, it was a privilege speaking with you, giving me the opportunity to get people in UAE and abroad, sharing my experience and sharing my admiration for this country that I have the privilege to be with here. This is my first post as ambassador, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me and to give me the possibility to get closer to my Emirati brothers and sisters. Thank you very much from my heart.
And to my audience who are watching and listening now, thank you very much for your precious time and to another new episode of Culture Capsule.
República Dominicana lo tiene todo.